Welcome, dear students. We will continue with the previous lecture. We will take up another problem on free convection. Okay, so let's start. Determine heat transfer rate by free convection from a plate of 30 by 100 centimeter whose surfaces are maintained at 120 degrees Celsius and exposed to air at 30 degrees Celsius when the plate is in horizontal position. So in the previous class we have taken a problem on vertical plate. Now you can see the plate is in horizontal position. Okay, so the formula what we will be using for vertical plate and horizontal plate are different, and we should use the appropriate formulas in order to find out the answer. Okay, in this case even the characteristic length will be different. So as we have discussed, the characteristic length for horizontal plate will be AS by P. Okay, now here we have not discussed in detail about one thing, so that let me tell you here. Whose surfaces in the problem, whose surfaces are maintained at 120 degrees Celsius. This means this is a problem on constant temperature, constant wall temperature. Okay, for the free convection problems, for the syllabus, as far as the syllabus is concerned, all the problems are of constant wall temperature. Okay, there is another category of problems where we consider the plate to be constant heat flux. Okay, the plate or the constant heat flux, the surface having constant heat flux, but such types of problems are not there for the syllabus. So only we will be considering surfaces with a constant wall temperature. Okay, okay, let's continue with the problem. So the data is given, which is TW is 120 degrees Celsius, T infinity is 30 degrees Celsius. Here I can see surface is maintained at 120 degrees Celsius and ambient air is at 30 degrees Celsius. The dimensions are shown. So the properties are taken from page number 34 from the 8th edition. TF will be calculated, which is 75 degrees Celsius. So properties, in all the problems we are calculating the same properties. So again the properties are calculated. As the temperature is 75 degrees Celsius, we can go for average between 70 degrees Celsius and 80 degrees Celsius, but it is better to do interpolation, or you can take the average method as it is exactly in the middle. But for 74 degrees Celsius, 76 degrees Celsius, it is better to go for interpolation method. So for your understanding, I have taken a screenshot of the page. So here you can see we are taking the properties of 70 degrees Celsius and 80 degrees Celsius. You can see there is no 75 degrees Celsius in this. So in order to find out the middle temperature, we have to go for either interpolation, or depending on the value we can take the average, but it is preferred to go for interpolation. So which all properties we are noting down? We are noting down the kinematic viscosity. Okay, we are noting down the Prandtl number, and we are noting down the thermal conductivity. So these three properties are we are noting down from this property values of gases at 1 atmospheric pressure. Okay, you can see this. So we are referring this page number 34 from 8th edition. I hope that is clear. So this is how we note down the properties which are required to solve the problem. Okay, so let me repeat once again. So for 70 it is, the values are there in the data handbook. For 80 degrees Celsius we have the data values in the data handbook. So we are finding out the value of kinematic viscosity, Prandtl number, and thermal conductivity. Okay, so these values are noted here for 70 and 80 degrees Celsius. You can see. So using one of the method, we will find out the values at 75 degrees Celsius. Okay, moving on to further, we have calculated beta. The value is this much. So GR, this is a common formula which we will be using in all the numericals. G beta delta T, LC cube divided by nu square. Now LC is different in this case. So LC is AS by P, as I told. It is surface area divided by perimeter, because from the surface heat transfer is happening. So usually we take area normal to the direction of heat transfer, so that is surface area. So AS is calculated like this. So see here, AS is calculated in this way, W into L. Perimeter is calculated in this way, which is 2.6. When substituting, we will get the value of LC, which is 0.1154 meter. Okay. Further, Greshoff's number is calculated. To the Greshoff's number, PR value is multiplied. We get the product of GRPR, or which is Rayleigh number. You can see the values. The value is 6.328 into 10 power 6. Okay. Okay. Now based on the value and based on the position, we have you have to choose the formula from the data handbook. Let me revise a little bit. So if the value, if it is for vertical plate and the value is 10 power 4 less than 10 power 4, we will be using this formula, it is given here. So for the values of 10 power 4 to 10 power 9 of GRPR, we will be using this formula. Okay, and note down here, it is constant heat flux or constant wall temperature. This formula is applicable for both. Okay, but if you look at the 1.2, if you look at the 1.2 formula, which is less than 10 power 4, if you read here, it is constant wall temperature. So the formula, the present formula is applicable for constant wall temperature, but if it is said constant heat flux, then we have to use 0.437 in place of 0.492. Okay, you can see here 0.492 is there, that has to be replaced by 0.437 if it is a problem on constant heat flux. Okay, but for now, for the syllabus, we have constant wall temperature problems, but in examination, if you get a constant heat flux problem, please make this change and solve the problem accordingly. Other things will remain as it is, only you have to replace the value accordingly. Okay, next, for all values of GRPR, which is a general formula, we have discussed this one. So for all values of GRPR, this is applicable. Again, in this case, constant wall temperature and constant heat flux, you have to make the changes accordingly. Okay, again for vertical surfaces, if it is turbulent flow which is greater than 10 power 9, we have these formulas and we will be using them accordingly. Okay, okay. Now for horizontal plates, you can see the characteristic length formula is given, which is area by perimeter. So preferably it will be surface area. Okay, now for the first case, upper surface heated, you can see here, upper surface heated, we have the first formula within the given range of GRPR. Then this is at constant wall temperature. Okay, the formulas are for constant wall temperature, and for the second range of GRPR, we have this formula. So based on GRPR, we have two sets of formulas to find out NU value. Okay, so this is for upper surface heated or lower surface cooled, constant wall temperature. Okay, that is first case. Second case will be upper surface cooled. Okay, that means lower surface will be heated. Okay, you can read here. Okay, see here, upper surface cooled means lower surface will be heated, and this is formula for constant wall temperature. For this case only we have one formula. The range is wider, 10 power 5 to 10 power 11 of GRPR. So this is the formula. Then we have constant heat flux formulas. Okay, and the ranges are given with the NU formula. For constant heat flux, there is slight change. This is the formula which has to be considered. Okay, so we'll not consider them as they are not in the they are not been asked in the exam, or they are not in the syllabus. So we have only problems on constant wall temperature, but you should know how to solve the problems on constant heat flux also. Okay, so continuing, if it is horizontal cylinder, you know that there are two formulas. One is this, second one is this. Okay, so in general we can use these formulas for all the values of GRPR. You can see the range, that is GRPR is 10 power minus 6 to 10 power 9. Wide range is covered. So for horizontal cylinders, we'll be using this formula most of the cases. Okay, very rarely we'll be using this one. Okay, and how to select the characteristic length? It is LC is equal to D. Okay, so continuing with the problem of the horizontal plate. So referring to page number 36, we have case 1, heated surface facing upwards. Now this problem is divided into two cases because it is not clearly given which surface is heated. So in the case 1 we will take bottom surface heated, in the case 2 we will take upper surface heated. So likewise we will solve the problem. Okay, so we will take a first case, that is up heated surface facing upwards or upper surface heated. So the value is between this range, so we'll be using this formula. So we get the value of Nu is equal to this much. Further we can calculate HT. So HT indicating top surface heated, so that is the heat transfer coefficient for top surface heated, and here LC is characteristic length. The whole value is already calculated and the same value is substituted. Now in the case 2, what we'll do, we'll take heated surface facing downwards. Based on the range we have only one formula, that formula is selected and Nu value is calculated. Similarly we can as in the previous case, we can calculate Nu is equal to HB LC by K, HB indicating bottom surface heat transfer coefficient, so that is the value. Together bottom surface heated heat transfer coefficient and upper surface heat top surface top surface heated heat transfer coefficient, we have this formula and we can calculate HT plus HB, HT plus HB, then we get the value of Q. So this is the case when the things are not clear in the problem, whether upper surface or bottom surface heated. So you can use this procedure to calculate the Q value. Okay, if specifically given one of the surface is heated, then you can use either case 1 or case 2 in order to solve the problem. Okay, thank you.